Everyday English listening. Topic 1. I do speak Spanish.
Sarah, you've taught in a bunch of different places. What countries have you taught again?
Quite a few. I've taught in Korea, Ecuador, Taiwan, Mexico, Japan, and the USA.
Okay, so
and
you're
China. Sorry.
Oh, wow. So you're a language teacher. You've taught in all these amazing countries.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about the languages. First, do you speak Japanese?
I don't. I'm embarrassed. I've lived here 6 years, but I don't. How about you? Do you speak Japanese?
I do speak Japanese. But
you do?
Yeah, but it's not very good.
Oh.
People don't hear me say it that much because it's really bad, but I do speak Japanese. But it's bad. But what about the other languages? You lived in Korea. Did you study Korean?
I did. I did study Korean. And I did learn to read very well. But now I've forgotten, so I can't speak it anymore.
I heard that it's relatively easy to learn the alphabet in Korea.
Yes, it is. It was invented by a scientist to be simple and easy to learn how to read.
Oh,
so
wow.
It is very easy.
What about China? Did you learn Chinese?
I didn't. I did study a lot, but in the end, I found it too difficult. Do you speak Chinese?
I don't speak Chinese, but I lived in Thailand for 5 years, and I do speak Thai. And I did study Thai when I was there, so yeah.
Oh, wow.
And it's tonal, so it's kind of similar in some ways to Chinese.
And can you read Thai?
I can read Thai.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I do read Thai. So actually, my Thai reading is probably better than my Japanese.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But it's hard because in Thai, the words kind of stick together.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you were in Mexico and in Ecuador.
Yes.
So do you speak Spanish?
I do speak Spanish. That was one of my goals for moving there, was to become fluent. And I'm very happy now I can say I do speak Spanish.
And your husband was with you. Does he speak Spanish?
Yeah, he does speak Spanish. He studied a lot and really improved a lot, so now he can say the same thing. He does speak Spanish.
And your children?
They do too. They speak Spanish.
Oh, nice. And your children are with you now in Japan. Do they speak Japanese?
They don't. They're learning very quickly. So I think they will improve, and in a couple of months, I can say that they can. But right now, their Japanese is very low.
So you were just in Mexico. Do you miss Mexico?
I do miss Mexico. I miss the food the most. I miss the Spanish language. And I miss the music. How about you? Do you miss Thailand?
I do miss Thailand a little bit, but not too much because I visit there a lot. So it's not that big of a deal. I go there usually once or twice a year. But when I'm in Japan, I do miss it. I miss the food especially. Now, we both are outside of the U.S. We don't live in the U.S. Do you miss living in the U.S.?
I do miss living in the U.S. I often miss that I understand and I know the culture so well. Sometimes in Japan, I feel like an outsider. And so I do miss being in the USA and being able to blend into the background, to be just another person.
Yeah.
How about you? Do you miss the USA?
I don't.
You don't?
I don't miss it at all. So I visit it. I do miss my family, and I do miss some things, especially like the food and the nature, but I don't miss actually living in America. Maybe because I go back so often. So these days it just doesn't seem like a big deal. Now, we are both in Japan. Do you plan to teach somewhere else soon?
I don't. I hope to stay in Japan for a couple of years. We are relaxed. We are settled. The children are in school. I hope we can stay here. How about you? Are you going to stay? Or do you have plans to go?
I do have plans to go, actually, and I want your old job.
Really?
I want to work for the U.S. government, and I want to work in a different country.
You should do it.
I will.
Topic 2. Job duties.
So, Sarah, you were a teacher for the State Department?
Yes, that's right. I was with the English Language Fellows program.
Oh, wow. And where did you teach?
I taught in Mexico.
Oh, that's great. Wow. So when you teach for the State Department, do they let you wear anything you want? Do you have to wear a suit or anything?
They let you wear anything that is professional. You don't have to wear a suit, but you can't wear jeans.
Okay. Do they let you teach anything you want?
No, they don't let you teach anything you want. You do have a lot of freedom, but they have some requirements. So you might have to teach university students beginning English, or you might have to teach university students engineering English. You have freedom how you're going to teach those subjects, but they don't let you choose the subjects.
Okay. And when you work for the U.S. government, do they make you do a lot of paperwork?
They do. They do make you do a lot of paperwork. When I applied for the job, it was the most difficult job application I'd ever done. They make you fill out a lot of forms, and they make you ask your references to fill out a lot of forms too. And then, when you do move to the country, they make you fill out even more forms for the work visa and the residency visa.
Oh, wow. That sounds pretty harsh.
It's really difficult. They do try to help you with the forms, but the official rule is that they will only help the official employee. I traveled with my husband and 3 kids. They let me bring my family, but they didn't help me with the paperwork for my family.
Oh, wow. So does the government help you get acclimated? For example, do they help you learn the language? Do they help you with moving costs? Do they help you get acquainted with, the local culture?
Mm-hmm. Some of those are yes and some are no. They don't help you learn the local language. That is up to you individually. They do help you become acclimated to your town. They travel with you to your town. They make your host institution find you housing. So that's really nice. They help you with the housing. They make your institution find you housing. And they let you have some time to get used to it before you're required to be working 40 hours a week.
So you've worked for a university.
Mm-hmm.
You've worked for the U.S. government.
Mm-hmm.
Have you worked for language schools?
I have. When I worked in Korea, I worked for an independent, privately owned language school, and we taught after-school lessons.
So which did you prefer? Like, which ones did you like?
Well, my favorite has been the university job because they let you choose your own hours. You have to teach the classes, but if you don't have class, they let you plan your lessons from home or whatever time of day that you want to do it. I like that. But when I was working for the State Department, they made you work regular 9 to 5, Monday to Friday hours.
Oh, right, yeah.
They made you work those hours. I liked the private language school. It was a good job for me at the time, but they also make you work the hours that they need you, which is 2 to 7 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday. And those are not the best hours to be working, so I didn't like that. But the language school helped me the most. They taught me language, they took me on trips, they really treated me like a part of the family in a way that the university and the State Department didn't. So that was a good memory, a good job.
So if you could rank the jobs between university, working for the U.S. government, and a language school, what would you rank 1, 2, 3?
just exactly how you said it. University would be the top. The State Department would be very close second. And then the language school would be a little farther down. The pay was a lot lower. The hours were not very good. I didn't have freedom.
They make you work more.
Make you work more, yeah.
Right. Okay. That's awesome. Thanks.
Thanks.
Topic 3. When we were kids.
So, Rachel, we're talking about how life used to be different for us when we were kids.
Yes.
And I was thinking the other day, it's interesting because we all have loving grandparents or parents, but our parents used to do things that they can't do anymore. For example, we used to ride in the back of my grandfather's pickup truck.
Yes.
On the highway, which now is totally illegal.
Yes.
Like, it's a big no-no. And we would get in the back of his truck, and he would drive us all over the place in this old pickup truck. And, like, today, that's against the law, right?
We used to have a station wagon, and there were 6 kids in our family. We just all piled into the back of the station wagon. No seat belts, no car seats.
Right.
Babies were in a little Moses basket on the back seat.
Yeah. And people used to do things like, also like you said, let kids, run around the back of the station wagon or move around. You would strap things to your car and drive down the street. Like, sometimes you can't do that anymore, or you have to do it. It's a little bit more regulated than before, I think, right? Yeah. We also used to burn our trash, which is now a big no-no in California.
Really?
Yeah.
We never used to do that. So
really?
I can't comment on that one.
Yeah, so we had these big barrels, and we would burn the trash. And if you watch movies, you'll see, like, in America, people, like, burning stuff in barrels to stay warm or whatever. And
yes, I've seen that on movies.
Yeah, and I remember one year, like, my grandfather was like, oh, we can't do it anymore. They sent a letter, and they said, no more.
No, we used to go to the dump every week. My father would load up the trailer, or maybe every month or so. That's how we used to do it. We used to burn it.
Right.
I think they already had laws about it then.
Really? You guys were probably ahead of the times. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, very green place. Also, for having children, like, women used to drink a little bit, or they used to smoke when they were pregnant, right?
Yes, that was a big thing, especially, smoking to stay slim while you were pregnant, so you wouldn't get too fat.
Really?
That was why a lot of women smoked.
Really?
It's a diet thing.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I did not know that. Wow, different times, huh?
Yeah, and the baby was born smaller, but that wasn't considered necessarily a problem.
Wow. And and not only that, they used to have commercials about cigarettes, and they would have commercials about drinking. I guess they still have commercials about alcohol. But yeah, they used to have commercials about smoking, and I think that's illegal in the States now.
It's illegal in New Zealand too, yeah. I haven't seen.
Yeah, it's been a while, right?
Yeah. The newspapers used to be full of them.
Yeah. And they used to not have to say, like, what all the ingredients were in foods and stuff, right? So these days, like, you have to say exactly what's in the food, I think.
Well, my mother and grandmother used to cook most things from scratch anyway, so there weren't many packets or cans of anything
Right.
at all.
Yeah.
No instant food or instant cakes. So they used to cook everything from fresh ingredients, so we knew what was in stuff.
We did too. On our farm, my grandparents' farm, they grew their own vegetables, and we used to can them.
Yes, we used to do that too.
Yeah. Although it was funny
Vegetables
because...
and fruit and potatoes every year.
Right, and it's funny because you call it canning, but it's actually you put it in a jar.
Jars, yes.
Right.
When you're doing it at home, you use jars, yes.
You don't call it jarring, but actually, I never remember putting it in a can.
We called it preserving, though.
Preserving, yeah. I hated that. We would do that all day usually all weekend, and I dreaded that weekend. That was the worst, because,
I didn't mind it so much.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we kids didn't have to do too much, but we used to like to pick the peels.
Yeah.
Or the stones, or we'd get lots of nice bits of fruit.
Oh, that's good. No, my grandparents put us to work, and it was 2 days that I could not have fun, any fun, from sun up to sundown, and I dreaded it every year. Like, oh no, it's canning weekend. Oh no.
I didn't like the potato harvest though.
Oh really?
Didn't like having to go and take care of the potatoes.
So did your family had a potato
we didn't
ranch?
have a farm, but we used to plant a potato patch at my uncle's farm.
Oh right.
So we would go there and we would weed it and we would plant it and we would harvest it every year. So.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, we just grew like green beans and carrots, tomatoes, that type of stuff.
We used to have a vegetable garden at our house, in the backyard of our home. So we had apples and lemons and feijoas and gooseberries and grapes and
gooseberries. What's that?
Gooseberries are little green, very sour berry. They make great pies.
Really?
Yeah.
Gooseberries. How do you spell it?
Goose, like goose.
Oh, gooseberries.
Yes.
Sorry, that's my
pronunciation.
my poor pronunciation listening there. Oh, gooseberries. Oh, cool. What do they taste like? Gooseberries.
Very sour, like a raw lemon, maybe.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Raw rhubarb, if you've ever tried that. I just had that.
Rhubarb. I was not a fan of rhubarb. Rhubarb was one of the things I dreaded as a kid. Was the rhubarb pie.
Oh, I loved it.
Really?
I used to eat it raw out of the garden.
Oh.
We would play in the back garden. We had a trampoline, and the vegetable garden was there, and we used to pick the raw gooseberries or the raw rhubarb, beans or carrots. Afternoon snack was very healthy in those days.
So rhubarb is healthy?
It's a vegetable.
Yeah, I don't...
Not quite so healthy once you add cups and cups of sugar to it, but
Yeah.
and the leaves are toxic, so you have to be careful with it.
Oh, I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't like the rhubarb, and I didn't like beets. Those were the two that I hated.
Beetroot. We
Yeah.
used to, yeah.
And they always make you eat it
preserve that as well.
Yeah, you'd have the canned cranberry, whatever, and also the beetroots, and those two things were not my favorites.
I love beetroot on a hamburger.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Oh, well, there you go. That's very healthy. It's purple, one of the few purple foods, right? Purple or reddish. Is it purple
reddish,
or red?
Really. It's really reddish. Yeah.
Kind of a deep, dark blood red, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the good old days growing up on the farm. The things that we used to do, we can't do anymore.
Topic 4. Valentine's Day Memories.
So, Duran, what did you do last Valentine's Day?
Last Valentine's Day, I got disappointed, I think, because I teach at university, and I'd heard that Japanese students always give their teachers loads and loads of chocolate. And even though it was like my 5th year, and every other year I'd only got like 2 or 3, I was still really excited, because I'm at university now, and got 2 chocolate bars.
Oh, really?
Yeah. How about you? You looking forward to it this year?
I'm planning on going to Korea with my coworkers to escape the Valentine's Day
To escape?
atmosphere, yes.
You're not a fan then?
I like Valentine's Day, but I don't plan on celebrating it this year. Is Valentine's Day big in England?
I haven't lived in England for a while now, about 10 years. When I was a kid, it was big in school, like in junior school.
Yeah.
We used to have a little Valentine's post box in your class where you could write little messages to your classmates, and then you'd put it in a box and they'd get delivered.
Oh, in a box?
Yeah, a little Valentine's post box.
Oh,
And your
cool.
teacher would deliver them.
Did you only get notes, or did you get candy as well?
No, it was just notes. In England, we don't really give candy and chocolate and presents to people. We just give letters, unless it's like a boyfriend or a girlfriend or something.
Yeah.
But when you're 7, you don't really bother.
Well, the thing I liked about Valentine's Day as a kid was that you'd get Valentine's Day cards from everyone, but I was always curious to see what the boy I liked wrote to me.
Did you know who wrote what to you?
Yeah, like they would sign their name on the card.
What? They sign names?
Yeah, be like, Happy Valentine's Day, Adam.
No, in England, I don't think you don't put your name. Even if you know who it's from, you know it's from your girlfriend or your best friend or your grandma or something.
Yeah?
I think you just put a big question mark.
Really?
It's half the fun. You have to figure it out.
But my favorite Valentine's Day gift is always from my mom.
She gives you a gift every year.
Yeah. She'll send me gifts in the mail. And when I was in elementary school, she would hide chocolates and stuff in my desk. It was awesome.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
I don't remember getting any really, really cool Valentine's presents. I remember giving a couple. I was dating a girl who lived in Norway when I was at university in England, and so for Valentine's Day it was the same. I think her birthday was like February the 11th or something.
Oh yeah.
So I just flew over. I emailed like her best friend, who I knew quite well as well, and he picked me up at the airport, and I flew over to Norway.
Yeah.
And in Norway, it's a very safe country, so they don't really lock their doors, a bit like Japan. And he drove me to the house, and I walked in at like 9 in the morning, and she came downstairs, and she nearly died. She thought I was a ghost.
Yeah, that would be
She's been there
scary,
for 6 months,
but
yeah.
fun.
Scary but fun. That's what she said when she could talk.
Yeah. So it was a double birthday Valentine's Day gift.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Exactly.
Topic 5. Job tips.
So, Sarah, we're both English teachers, and we taught together before, and then you went away and you worked for the U.S. State Department,
Yes.
and you came back, and now I want to work for the U.S. State Department.
You should do it.
So I want you to give me some advice, what I should do and what I shouldn't do to get the job, and what do I need to do so I can work for the U.S. State Department. So what should I do?
So the first thing you should do is to start doing the paperwork. There's so much paperwork and it can be overwhelming. So you shouldn't try to do everything in one day, and you shouldn't leave it to the last minute. So please start the paperwork soon.
Okay, so how long does it take to do the paperwork?
It takes a couple of weeks because you need to write some very long answers to many different questions, and because you need to ask references to write these long answers for you.
Okay, so like who should I ask to be a reference?
You should ask 2 people who have experience with your teaching. So for me, I asked the head of the language department and a coworker who had observed my class. So you should ask perhaps the level coordinator. You should ask your boss, your manager, and then maybe a coworker who has seen your teaching.
Okay, so could I ask you?
Yeah, I'd be happy to do that.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
So you said there's some questions. Like what's a sample question?
A lot of the questions are about how do you deal with cultural differences. So it might say, tell me a time in your life you have felt, or tell me a time in your life you've been confused about the culture and you didn't know how to proceed.
Oh, okay.
So you need to write about what happened and how you overcame it.
So how should I answer the question? Should I just talk about my own experience, or should I try to phrase it in a way that I think they want to hear? Like what should I do?
The most important thing is to be honest. But what they're looking for are people who are flexible, understanding, and hardworking. So if you can phrase it in that way, talk about how you really responded to the situation. If you responded poorly, what did you learn from it? How you could have done better, and how you could have done better, or things like that.
Okay. Wow, those are some good tips. Is there anything I shouldn't do, I shouldn't say, I shouldn't mention?
Well, just like any job, you shouldn't mention that you want the job just so you could travel, or you want the job just to make some money. You should talk about the more positive aspects of why you want the job, to help people, to teach people about the culture of the USA, to help people learn English. One of the big reasons this program exists is to spread goodwill about the USA. So we are definitely representatives for the U.S. government, for the U.S. people. So we need to show that we can be a responsible, kind, hardworking representative of the USA. So they really want to see that in your application as well.
Okay. Oh, wow, that's great. Well, thanks for the advice. I'm going
Yeah,
to
you're
apply.
welcome. You can do it.
All right. Wish me luck.
Good luck.
Topic 6. What would you like to do?
So, Darcy, let's talk about our dream life. Where would you like to live?
I want to live by the beach.
Ooh, that would be nice.
Yes, I want to live somewhere that I can see nature and hear the ocean waves. I want to be able to go outside and just get away from things.
That's nice.
How about you?
Well, I love the beach, and I like to go to the beach a lot, but I'd like to live in the mountains. I want to live in a forest or around a lot of trees. I love trees, and I like to go hiking, so I want to live where it's very rural, but not far from a city, and I can go hiking a lot. So, and I want to have a dog, because if I have a dog, I can take the dog walking with me. That would be really nice.
I want to live somewhere that's kind of suburban, close to a city, but quiet. But also, I want to have a home that has a yard, and I don't need a fence.
Yeah.
But I would like to be nearby neighbors and where people are friendly, instead of kind of too tight together or too spread apart.
Right. What about transportation? Any type of car? Like, what type of car would you like to have?
I think I would like to have a chauffeur.
Really? A driver? You'd like
Yes.
to have a driver?
Because I don't have my license yet.
Oh, I see.
So I want to get a license. I want to learn how to drive. But if I can't, it would be convenient if I would have a chauffeur to drive me around.
Oh, wow.
What about you? Like, how do you like getting around?
Well, actually, I'd like to have a car, a nice car, maybe an all-terrain Mercedes-Benz or BMW. That would be nice. But I want to drive myself. I do not want to have a chauffeur. So I like to be by myself. I like to relax. I don't want to talk to somebody in the car. I want to be alone. So yeah, that's definitely not going to happen. But I'd like to have a car that looks nice in the city, but you can take out in nature, is a little rugged. So that would be good. I don't want to have a small car. I don't want to have a sports car. And I don't want to have a car that's really expensive. So, like, I guess a Mercedes all-terrain car is expensive, but I mean, I don't want to have a car like a Ferrari or something, or a Porsche, that if I make a mistake, then it's going to be really expensive. So,
Yeah, I don't have a car license, but I have a scooter license. So I want to get a nicer scooter that's like pink and white, and I would like it to have lights underneath the bottom, something shiny, and I want it to have a stereo, and I play music while I drive down the streets.
oh no. So, do you want people to hear your music when you go by?
I just want to hear my music when I'm driving.
Okay. Okay. So how about travel? So where would you like to go?
I would like to go to Ireland because my family's from there. So I would like to see where my ancestors used to live, and I would like to try the cuisine, and I would really like to learn Gaelic.
right.
It's not really spoken in the world, but I think that's really nice to learn about my history and to pass that on, even though I don't live there.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
So what about you? Where would you like to go?
That's pretty easy. Well, I shouldn't say easy. I have two choices. I'd love to go to Africa, and I'd love to go to South America, just because I haven't been to either place. So I'd like to travel around Africa. I've met many students at my university from Africa, and they're so nice, and that would be cool. I'd like to go to everywhere. Actually, I'd like to go to Somalia. I'd like to go to Ethiopia. I'd like to go to Nigeria. I'd like to go to Tanzania. I'd like to go to Botswana. I've met students from these places, and they're so nice. Also, I'd like to go to South America. It looks cool. And I'd like to learn Spanish. I don't know any Spanish, but I want to learn. So, and Portuguese. They speak Portuguese in Brazil. So that would be fun.
Sounds like you just want to travel around the world,
I do, kind of. But I like teaching. So actually, that leads us to the next question. What is your dream job, or what would you like to do as a professional? So I'll go first. I want to teach English in South America. I'd like to teach English in maybe Chile or Argentina or maybe Brazil or Colombia. I have friends that taught in those places, and they all say it's really nice.
Yeah, like I just want to be a teacher or something with teaching, or I want to do some type of mentoring. So I like traveling too. So I would like to go to maybe Korea or France or Italy, some European country, because I want to go somewhere new and have a new experience. But I'm also interested in the mentoring, so I think it'd be really great. I really want to do TED Talks.
All right.
So I want to get more experience so that way I have something that I can share with other people and, you know, travel around the world.
Oh, that's nice.
And talk to different people.
That's so cool. So what about things you would like to learn or a skill you would like to develop?
I want to learn how to play the guitar.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah, I really like writing poetry, so I think it'd be cool if I learned how to play my own music. I want to be able to sing and to play guitar and perform and entertain people, and I want to kind of form that connection that music does that we can't necessarily do just talking with each other.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
So what about you? Do you have any skills you want to learn?
Yeah, the two basics. One, I'd like to learn how to surf.
Ooh.
I want to start surfing. I would love that. And also, I'd like to get a motorcycle and learn how to ride a bike around and take like a long motorcycle trip. I've done the scooter. I've done some dirt bike riding, and I've done some motorbike riding in countries where I kind of lied and said I had a license and I didn't.
Oh.
But I'd like to make it official, go get a motorcycle license. So we should make a pact. I'll get my motorcycle license, and you'll get your driver's license.
Okay.
It's a race.
Okay, you might win.
Topic 7. Things we do under certain situations.
So, Sarah, let's talk about things we do under certain situations.
Okay.
So, when you are stressed with a lot of work, what do you do?
I always do the same thing. If I'm stressed, I clean.
Really?
Yes. If I feel anxious or stress or I'm worried, I always clean. I usually clean the house or wash the dishes, and I feel better because I'm busy and I'm accomplishing something. So if I'm stressed, I clean. If I clean, I feel better.
Oh, that's great.
How about you? What do you do if you feel stressed?
If I'm stressed, I exercise. So when I exercise, I always feel better. So if the weather is nice, I'll go jogging outside. And if the weather is cold or if it is raining, then I go to the gym.
Ah, that's interesting.
Yeah, and I always feel better. So if I exercise for like 1 hour or 2 hours, my stress just goes away.
Oh, that's great.
So what do you do if you have really low energy?
To be honest, if I have low energy, I sleep.
Yeah.
I always try to take a nap on the weekend. It's a little difficult because I have young kids, but if I put a movie on, then I can have a break. I can take a rest.
Right.
I can take a nap. What do you do if you feel tired?
Well, if I'm just really sleepy, of course I sleep. But if I have low energy, I eat vegetables. So I make a salad, or I eat just vegetables raw, like a raw carrot or celery or something like that. I find that when I eat vegetables, I get a really big energy boost. But surprisingly, fruit does not work. I think maybe because of the sugar in fruit. Like fruit makes me sleepy. So if I eat a banana or an apple sometimes, I don't feel more energetic. But vegetables always.
That's a really healthy response.
Yeah.
Sometimes people think, oh, if I'm tired, I'll drink coffee, I'll drink an energy drink, but vegetables is a much better choice.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to top vegetables. Okay, what do you do when you are bored? You're really bored. What's something you like to do to pass the time?
If I'm bored, I love to listen to something. And I have 3 things I like to listen to. If I'm walking or running, I like to listen to music. If I'm cleaning the house, I listen to a podcast. Or if I'm just resting, I listen to a book, an audiobook. So what do you do?
Similar to you, I will find something to read or maybe watch on TV. So if there's a sports game on, I'll watch sports. If there's nothing on the TV related to sports, then usually I'll surf the channels on TV and hope that I find something that's a documentary or informative. I don't like to watch dramas. I don't like to watch like TV shows or movies and stuff like that. Sometimes I'll read, but I find that when I'm bored, for some reason, I don't want to read.
Sometimes I feel the same way.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but like maybe because it's just work.
Maybe.
Okay, so what do you do when you get really upset and you need to calm down? Like somebody makes you angry, what do you do?
Oh, when I'm upset, I leave. I don't want to shout or be angry or say something mean. So when I feel myself becoming angry, I immediately leave. And later, when I'm calm, I try to solve the problem, talk to the person, fix the situation. But my first response is leave. How about you? What do you do if you feel upset or angry?
That's so interesting you say that because we're complete opposites.
Really?
So if somebody makes me angry, I confront them right then and there. So I actually blow my top sometimes, and I get angry back at them. Like, for example, with my students, sometimes I have a short fuse with my students, so I might get really angry with my students. But it's very short-lived, and I find that it's better. So if I release my energy, then I'm not dwelling on it. I don't let the anger continue, and it's over. It's gone, and then I can move on. I'm at peace. And sometimes I apologize right away. I'll say, oh, I'm sorry. I lost my temper. I shouldn't have done that. But I'm the opposite of you. If I walk away, oh my gosh, it's the worst. It'll build and build and build and make me really upset. Yeah, so it's better that I get my emotions out right away.
I see. So when you walk away, you feel more and more angry. And when I walk away, I feel more and more calm and relaxed.
Oh, totally. They have a phrase like stew on it. So I stew on it, totally. And yeah, it's not healthy.
Sometimes there's a situation where I can't leave. Like, I can't leave in the middle of class. So if I feel myself in class getting angry, I try to fix the problem before I become really angry. So I try to notice, how do I feel right now? If I feel a little angry, I'm going to talk to the student. I'm going to fix the problem now. I won't wait until I become really angry.
Oh, that's interesting. Huh. I guess we're all different in our own little way.
Yeah.